Hello, everybody, and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. This is level 348. I don't know if that's a Prime number or not, but I did put on Prime Video earlier, and I was watching Saved by the Bell with my kids. Are you a fan of Saved by the Bell?
I was. I went back. I used to watch it uh,
Oh, yeah?
back in the day, and then I think one time I watched it with it was on some streaming service. Watched all the episodes of it.
Yeah, did you used to get yourself a look in the morning?
No, I didn't get a look in the morning.
Can you get yourself a look? Yeah, they have season one is like that show. It was a different show with Miss Bliss. Yeah, something like that.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
they retconned it that season one of Saved by the Bell when it really isn't. So then Saved by the Bell season two has Slater and Kelly and Jesse. And that's where it really takes off. And it's just the greatest show of all time. So yeah, I'm torturing my kids by making them watch shows that I grew up on, as all parents should do. Maybe Full House will be next.
I really hitting that '90s nostalgia there.
No. So how you been, man? I missed you. I went to
Yeah,
Broadway show.
tell us about your stuff. You've been busy these last few weeks.
I know. I saw Redwood on Broadway. It's with Dina Menzel.
Okay,
Do you know
Frozen
who that
Girl.
is? Yeah, Frozen Girl. You would think she was Justin Bieber. Like so many young girls were there, and after the show was over, they were waiting outside for her to get into her limo, as if she was like a heartthrob teen icon. It was
But
wild.
isn't that a thing for like Broadway? Because I know I've had some friends go there, and they sometimes have stayed outside the doors to get an autograph and stuff like that. Is that a thing?
Can be a thing, but they just wanted
Okay.
a glance, a passing glance. That's all they needed.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I got the hell out of there, but
We're like, "Well, see ya."
we had a good time.
And then I heard you had
And
a
then
IRL visit with someone.
I did. Michelle and I went to visit Peru and his betrothed, but more importantly, his two doggies and his kitty cat.
That's the real reason why you went, right?
Yes, to see cute animals that I don't have. And we went to see the Washington Nationals play against the Mets. And that was our seventh stadium.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. And that's, we've done obviously Mets and Yankees, Boston and Baltimore, and Philly and Pittsburgh. So any of the
Okay.
ones we can drive to, we have done.
You're going to start branching yourself out
Yeah, we're
out
gonna have to do
west.
things like take planes or long ass car
Long,
rides.
or train rides. Long train rides, too.
Oh, well, then you could sleep. That sounds good. Yeah, it
Let's
was a
see. So
good
while
time.
we're on the topic, I have
Hmm.
done Dodger Stadium. I've done uh, let's see. I've done the Rangers' new stadium. I haven't done their old stadium. Their new one, I've been there. I've done the old Atlanta Braves stadium. I haven't been to their new one. Been to
Oh,
Philadelphia and Boston. I think that might be
nice.
it.
Well, if you're ever in town for a Mets game, let me know, and you can buy me tickets to a game.
Okay, sounds good.
Sweet.
I'm
Thanks,
serious.
buddy.
I'll do it.
I know
I'll
you
do
would. No, you as if I'm not there enough.
it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I
you
think
were
we're like
asking before you went on your
four.
for your stuff that you did. So we took the girls to. I think I talked a little bit at last time. We took the girls to the Texas Rangers, and the Dodgers were in town for a 3-game series. So we took them there, and they had a lot of fun. Actually, weren't as bored as they were last time we went, so that was nice. And unfortunately, Shohei Otani's wife was giving birth that weekend, and so didn't know that was going to happen, and he didn't play the game we went to, but
Oh
they still
no.
won. They still won, and it was a good game. It was a pitcher's duel, so a little boring, but the game moves a lot quicker now than they did when I was a kid, so that was nice. So we did that, and then we ended up. I talked with Kush. I don't know if you listened, but we ended up going to medieval times for lunch the next day. Have you ever been to that?
I did hear you say that. And yes, they have something called Medieval Manor in New
Okay.
Jersey or upstate. Yeah, it's like you said, they do like a fake jousting thing, and then you can all the kids get different flags of their jousters
Yeah.
color or whatever, and they wave their flag and they get food, like you said. And
Our house guy ended up being a turnheel, so we were the bane of all the, the jousters because he ended up breaking all the rules and being the bad guy and everything. So my kids were just having the best time when it was revealed like that. uh,
reminds me a lot of pro wrestling.
yeah,
Just saying.
yeah. So we did that, and
Right.
they had a lot of fun that weekend. And then my wife and I try to take an adults only trip every year. And so this year, I don't know if the rest of the year we'll
Hey
be able to
now.
do anything, but we ended up going to Austin this last weekend, and
Oh, you can joust with her. That's a great idea. I would like to do that. Adults only trip. Get the little kids out of there.
yeah. Well, luckily my
They
sister
gotta
lives in
go
the
away to
same
school.
city as us, and she loves my kids. So she ended up coming over on the weekend and just watching us. And we went to the Lincoln Park concert, and we went and had some good food in Austin and watched some movies and such. So it was a good
Oh, Auntie.
relaxing
Thanks,
weekend.
Auntie. Auntie West. Thank you.
Yep.
How was Lincoln Park with the lady?
It was really
The
good.
ladies.
I liked it a lot. There's a the it was sold out, and everybody seemed to be having a good time and everything. So it was a good concert.
Yeah. In the end, it didn't matter who was singing.
No,
That's
it
good.
felt all like a paper cut
Okay.
like that. Okay,
Oh God! Ouch! 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 Ouch!
but let's take one step closer to the topic of discussion for today.
Okay. And that joke made me crawl in my skin. All right, we are going to talk about video games, of which I've actually been playing a decent amount of.
Nice.
But as we record, there's one day left for the April targets. And this one actually I did not get naturally because I had to play a game that has collectibles.
Oh, okay.
You know, not everyone could just play a new Alan Wake game every month and get 500 collectibles. Wildwest. So I've actually been playing a crap ton of Boyfriend Dungeon. So I
Ooh,
missed the boat when it was on Game Pass, and it was on sale recently, and I picked it up, and it's a lot of fun.
it is. I enjoyed that
I
game.
don't know why, but it is. And my
It's
wife sits next to me, she's like, "What the hell is this?" And I'm like,
I
"I can't really explain it, but I'm going to try." And it's basically a visual novel, but also a dating sim, and also a visual novel. But you date your weapons that you take with you into the dungeons. Like, what? You're dating your weapons? Yep, you're dating your weapons. They are also humans, and also they turn into weapons. And you know, sometimes they're vampires too. And I'm like, yeah. And then she walks away. So she's very smart.
that sounds about the correct reception my wife would have to that if she saw me playing that game too.
So it's
But I
basically pretending to be a Japanese game, but it's not.
yeah. Yeah, I bought it when it was on sale
Obviously.
just because they had that DLC that came out after, or the title update that came out up after it.
Yeah, I remember people not being happy with that. I'm currently doing that right now. I have one collectible left for my target that I have one day to do, but I'll get it. As soon as we're done talking, I'll probably get it. Or
Nice.
tomorrow. One of those. Yeah, so Boyfriend Dungeon, if if you haven't played it, like I was turned off by the title at first as well, but now that I've played it, I think it's hilarious. I think it's fun, and it's just the right length for a game too. Like it's just at the point where it's starting to wear out its welcome, and now I'm almost done with the title update, so it should be good.
Good.
And there's even crafting in the game too, so it's a lot of different genres. And as I say, it's a lot of different genres. It has one on TA hack and slash. Are you kidding me?
There you go.
Diablo clone's not a genre.
I guess not.
It's a dungeon crawler and a visual novel. Are they crazy? It's also simulation. Well, maybe I won't go that far, but if anyone's played Boyfriend Dungeon, let's talk about it. Let's talk about who we like the most. Which boyfriend? And then randomly they put a cat also, which is strange. Yeah, I'm
Hey,
gonna
cats
date
still
this
need love
cat.
too.
That's true. Cats need loving. So a couple of days ago, they unearthed the May targets. And wouldn't you know, May is Star Wars month. May the 4th be with you, my friend. I know you're a big Star Wars fan.
Hmm.
I heard when you went to Medieval Manor, you told the jousters to use lightsabers instead.
I did. It did not go over well.
No.
Nor did it go over
Did one of
well
them?
when I was in my Jedi robes.
No. Did one of them fall off a bridge or anything like that?
They have the high ground, so
Oh, no. All right. So target number 1 is May the 4th, and you need to earn at least 4 achievements um, in each game. Wait, which games? In Star Wars games? No.
well, it
Now
just
I'm
means like
confused.
if you got
Oh,
boyfriend
any game.
dungeon, yeah, you get boyfriend dungeon. You need to earn 4 achievements there. Then when you're
Oh,
playing
right.
little kitty, big city, you
Four
need to
different
earn
four
four.
achievements.
Yeah, that's how
Ooh, that's a good
I'm
idea for a
interpreting
game
it.
to play.
I just did that for my collectible achievements
More cat games. Why didn't you tell me? Jeez.
because I'm trying to get you kicked off, so there's less of us in the group of finishing all the gold medals.
Oh,
Kush keeps trying to be
it's not very
reinstated into
nice.
it, but
He should be allowed. He's old. He falls asleep. And if he misses out, he should get a mulligan. So May the 4th is earned 4 achievements in. You see, it's just worded where it says in each game, but I guess 4 achievements in 4 different games, right?
yeah.
So you take it as oh, I see. 5 games is for gold. Bronze is 1 game, silver is 3 games, gold is 5 games. I blame Freem for confusing me. This is what he does.
How can I
Target.
confuse?
How can I confuse that big L? This will be fantastic. May target number 2 in a galaxy far, far away. Also to celebrate Star Wars Day, chart your course across the galaxy and earn 3+ achievements, starting with the letter S, T, A, or R. So you just need 9 achievements for that. That should be easy enough. Plenty of achievements beginning with S, T, and R. And I imagine A has plenty as well. That's easy. Now this one might be a little tricky. May target 3 is remaster. With the shadow drop of a game no one cares about called Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. It's a perfect time to earn. That's what Freem wrote, by the way, not me. Putting my 2 cents in. It's time to earn achievements in games containing the word remaster, remake, or definitive. And you need 9 achievements there for the gold.
Can I suggest a good game for that?
Mm,
Alan Wake
can't wait for you.
Remastered.
I knew it. I knew it.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
You're going to say Little Kitty Big City Definitive Edition.
There you go. The more perfect edition.
Oh, very nice.
There you go.
So it is nice of TA. They put a list of games that count.
Mm-hmm.
This gives me a chance to do things that I've been sleeping on for a decade, like a BioShock Remastered, I guess.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wait a minute. The Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster should count. Gosh darn it. But I guess the games on their own don't have remaster in it, but as a collection, they are called Pixel Remaster for sure. I'm going to have to get a petition and have you sign it for me, okay?
Oh, I will, because I have them, and I
Because
wouldn't mind playing them
they're not
next
on the
month.
list.
They're not on the list.
Only
Oh,
8
shit.
remastered and 10 and 10.2 HD remaster on the list. So, ooh, Goat Simulator remastered. Who did that? It's on the list also. Oh my god, just hurt myself doing that. So I'm gonna have Alan Wake removed from the list,
That's
and
fine,
then we're
because I've
gonna
already
add
completed it,
Final
so
Fantasy.
it
Damn it!
doesn't matter for me anyways.
You don't mind?
I don't have any
All right.
achievements for it available.
So now it's time for the question of the week. We usually do that first, but I believe it ties into the game you want to talk about, and I have no idea what you're going to talk about, so it will be a secret to everybody, namely me.
Yeah, we kind of collaborated on this question. We wanted to know what are games or genres that you liked as a kid that you don't like as much now? Conversely, are there any games or genres you didn't like as a kid that you grew to like as you got older? Nice question there. We might have done something similar in the past, but it's nice to get some updated answers as we have more games that we play. So, Hurricane Dale said, I feel like when I first started playing games, the big titles were Mario 64, Banjo Kazooie, and Donkey Kong 64. Nowadays, 3D platformers really don't do it for me. Will play one every few years, but that's enough for me. You kind of play a little bit more platformer games than I do. Would you agree with that sentiment, or do you still kind of enjoy that?
Mm, I enjoy a platformer every once in a while, but definitely not as much as the old days. I mean, that's a good answer. I feel like they just don't make as many these days.
Not
I
the
did
3D
like
kind.
Lucky's Tale, Super
Yeah.
Lucky's Tale was good. I can't think of anything else really off the top of my head, but I would play it.
Yeah, I wasn't big into Banjo Kazooie, Mario 64 when they came out. I liked some other games on the GameCube, but I, yeah, you just don't see a lot of those 3D platformers at all.
Collectathons.
Yeah. Vulgar Latin says in a few different posts, but we just kind of put them all together. He says probably more
Mhm.
competitive multiplayer games. I used to play more of those when I was younger. Nowadays, I have no interest. I used to play a lot of Counter Strike or Call of Duty 4 multiplayer. The idea of doing that without boosting sounds terrible now. I don't have the time to commit to that. So I kind of share similar sentiments on
Okay.
that, just because I used to play a lot of Halo 3 multiplayer. I was rising up those ranks and everything. I
Oh,
had a lot of fun, and just the thought of playing multiplayer for fun nowadays is just not my style anymore.
well, that's because achievements have ruined us.
I wouldn't
I don't
say
know if you would
achievements have
find it.
ruined it for me. It's more of
Yes,
the,
it
the
would.
players on there. Like the one of the last big games I played uh, yeah, was Gears of War 4, and there was just I would get getting a lot of hate mail, because I wasn't perfect in certain situations, and they would send me stuff, and this just kind of threw me off of playing those kind of games.
Listen, if I have to send you a message telling you that you are a P word and you are horrible, I'm going to do it, all right? I don't care for friends.
You can do that, but when you
You
start
shouldn't
telling
have played
people
with
that you
me.
need to commit suicide and stuff like that, that crosses
What
the
the
line.
hell?
Yeah, that crosses the line. So
Damn.
I
That
can
happened in
understand.
baseball.
Yeah, that did with the
You hear
Red
that's
Sox recently. Yeah.
jeez. People suck, so you need to just avoid the people that suck and just hang out with me all the time.
Perfect.
Because you promised to
Uh,
help me finish Halo Infinite and get my remaining multiplayer achievements. Don't
there you
forget
go.
that you promised me.
Yeah, just wait a
I ain't
couple more
lying.
years and then I'll do it.
Oh,
I
thanks.
promise.
Yay.
Hawkeye Berry says, I love turn based RPGs. Final Fantasy, Ogre Battle 64, Super Mario RPG, and football games, Madden, NCAA football as a kid, but not anymore. I loved putting in the time to try new combinations and walking in circles just to grind levels for RPGs or play season after season as the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry for that. But both genres just bore me today. I wasn't a big racing fan as a kid, but I definitely enjoy them a lot more now. Forza, Wreckfest, Onrush, Ben Hur. Is Ben Hur really considered a racing game?
I mean, it's a classic. Sorry, I meant Smitty.
Ben Hur is a arcade racing game. Arcade racing sports and equestrian sports.
Yeah, it used to be free, and then they got rid of it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is removed from the store, and quite a few people have finished it, and you're one of them. You finished it just a little bit after I did. All right, I don't. He finishes with, "I don't need a
So,
guide or worry about misspells. Just go get it. Go get first." So it's nice to see. That was kind of another side of the question that you had asked too. I guess I just didn't. copy the whole thing in there. Was if there was certain examples of games that you like now that you didn't, or the opposite and everything. So I appreciate Hawkeye Berry for doing both of those ones. I would say similar things. I played some Super Mario RPG, played some football games and everything back in the day, and just not as the turn-based stuff. I don't play as much anymore, and the football games I don't either, just because it's the same game over and over again. So I don't play them too often. But I will finish with Fug, and then you can read the last two yourself. Fug says, I used to play a lot more creative style games like Roller Coaster Tycoon, The Sims, etc. I also used to adore strategy games such as Civilization and 4X type games. Explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. And finish the sentence there. Okay. Master of Orion was one of my favorites. Another game of that style I really dug was Star Control 2. If you like Mass Effect, much of it was lifted from this series. Much more robust planet landing, the planet of interwoven storylines between alien races and space fights. I think part of the change was twofold. I enjoyed the way these games played better on PC. They just aren't as enjoyable with console controls, which I would agree with. And also, the more creative games don't lend themselves well to achievement hunting, so I don't have time to just sit around doing fun things, but essentially accomplishing nothing. It makes me a bit sad at times because I know I enjoy these games. Maybe sometime in the future, when achievement hunting is behind me, I'll go back to some of these styles of games. And I hope you do, because those are fun, some fun kind of games there. But I will wait to give
You
my
Fug.
answer when I talk about my game later. So you can take over the last two
All right,
here.
I'll take over. All right, our beloved friend X the Hero said, I used to enjoy playing and mastering every single fighting game I could get my hands on. While I still enjoy dabbling in new fighting games, I just don't enjoy the process of it or have the time for getting good at them. I'll stick with the franchises I'm really good at for 99% of my fighting game time. Well, now you're just a waifu master X, so I could understand you not having time for fighting games. Waifu master. There probably is a game called that. You could look that up. I'm sure we've done that before. Um, J Blach says, when I was a kid, I played a bunch of RPG type games like Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy. Well, who didn't? Unfortunately, I haven't played any of them in a long time. Not because I don't like them as much, but because I have so many other games in my backlog and installed on my hard drives. Instead, I've been prioritizing games that will be quicker or ones that I can jump back into after leaving for a while and not feel lost with the story or controls. Hopefully, I can continue cleaning up games so I can turn my focus onto games like Red Dead 2, Elder Scrolls Online, and eventually GTA 6. Wait, GTA 6 is real? I thought that was just a meme. I
It
don't
is a
think it's
meme
real.
until it releases.
Yeah, so I feel a large sentiment of the collective is that time is an issue. And it's not even that we don't like long RPGs anymore. We don't have the time. And I agree with that sentiment wholeheartedly. I wouldn't say I don't like RPGs anymore. They just take up time. So, Boyfriend Dungeon, that's a nice, it's going to be 6, 8 hours, and you don't need a guide. You could just play. Those are easy. Those are fun. You can get into them, enjoy what you're doing. Um, Going back to sports that was mentioned, that was me. NES, SNES, NBA Jam, Tecmo Bowl, Tecmo Super Bowl, Baseball Stars. Those were a good time. Now I never play sports games pretty much unless they're party games or multiplayer or MLB The Show, notwithstanding, and only because it was on Game Pass. I used to do the Maddens, but haven't in over a decade. So that's my answer. I'm trying to think of a genre I like now that I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes.
Minecraft.
I think it
Nope.
goes back
Lies.
to. I think it goes back to like a lot of it nowadays is just when you're a kid, you can when we were kids, I guess we didn't have to deal with a lot of the different distractions and other things that we have nowadays, whether it be our own kids, job, all that stuff. So you basically just
Oof.
got to go to school, play video games. There weren't that many distractions or other things other than a lot of other video games. You usually only had a few games that you're playing, so you could just play them like crazy, and you would know, hey, I'm not going to get another game, so I'm just going to keep playing this one over and over and over again, and you'd have fun with it because that's what you had. But we have so many different games with Game Pass or or backlogs and everything, and you're like, oh, I want to get this game done because I need to get to the next game and the next game. So
Absolutely. We've talked about this before, but yes, a lot of us just got a game or two for birthday and a game or two for Christmas and played the hell out of them.
yeah,
And then maybe we, as a treat, got to go to the local video store and rent a game for a few days.
yeah.
But it's a different world, and there's so many different games with or without Game Pass. But I am definitely curious to see what you have picked this week that correlates with this question.
You want me to get into it now? You going there?
Did I miss something?
No.
Go for it, brother.
Before we go to there, what is your reaction to the big news about the Oblivion remaster Shadow Drop?
Oh
Any
man, I got to talk about
any
that.
thoughts?
My immediate reaction is that I should probably play the 361 that I've had in my possession for 20 years.
Have you started it yet?
I know I've told this story before, but when I bought this game, it was either Toys R Us or Walmart or Target, one of these places, and I was 25 years old, and they ID'd me for it, and I was so pissed. I'm like, are you kidding me? They're like, well, it's rated M. I'm like, this is not like GTA. This is Oblivion. This is maybe has a little blood. I'm like, no, gonna have to see ID, sir. I'm like, ugh, fine. Now, if I got ID, I'd be so like, thank you for IDing me. I feel so young. Yeah, but young people don't like to be ID'd. I've started it a few times. I have some achievements in it, but I haven't really ever sat down with it. So that was my first thought. Trying to get Michelle to do the same. She has the game dived. She's played
Yeah,
it
I was
less
gonna
than I
say
did.
she looks like she dived it. Yeah.
When I was hanging out with Peru, he was playing it, and he actually had the OG strategy guide, and he had the strategy guide out, a laptop out, and he had the game up. And that's old school, man, playing with the strategy guide. And I said, does it still work? And he says, yeah, it's all the same. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it looks like he started it March 21st, 2006, but just completed it in 2019. So
Really?
yeah,
I thought he
pretty
was a huge
long
fan.
distance for it. But yeah, it looks like you have
Yeah,
11 achievements unlocked. So
really?
11. Yeah, actually, it's probably one
Boy,
of
then
my
I was missed.
out of all my friends, it's probably one of the most completed games I've seen. I mean, there is 23 people on my friends list that have completed it. So for being like a that kind of game, I know it's on Game Pass nowadays, but being that kind of game, that's pretty popular. It's 315,000
Well,
people have started it on TA for the
how many?
361. 315,000 people for the 360 game.
Nice. Yeah, it's pretty easy to get in your tag. Just go through the opening sewers. Um, so yeah, I guess the worry is with a game with such a large scope, missing out on things. I was asking Prue, and he says you really can't miss anything. And I know in those Bethesda games you can make 8 million saves, so you shouldn't lock yourself out of anything
Mm-hmm.
unless you stick with one save, and that would be silly to do with their history of breaking stuff. Maybe you know more than I do.
Yeah, I mean, the Elder Scrolls is not like the one Bethesda series I'm just not as big into, but I do want to try this one. I'll probably do the remastered sometime. Looks like already almost 150,000 people have started it for only being out for a week now, which is kind of crazy. So
And let
pretty
me tell you, when I looked at my
pretty
friends
popular.
list that day, a lot of people were playing it.
Yeah, I mean,
And it was either nostalgia or something that made people stop whatever they were doing, and they played it.
yeah, I mean, it's got a good rating and everything. I think it's just one of those games that people really stuck with them. One of those kind of initial early games that they played, on the 360 or whatever. But anyways, yeah, I was just kind of curious on your thoughts before I started going on the. So it's
I'd
kind of
love
some
to play it, my
big
friend. I'd love
news.
to.
Yeah, it was big news for the week. Even though we kind of knew it was coming, it was just a matter of when it was getting released, and we finally got that thing right at the end of the program. They were like, "Yep, it's releasing now." Everyone's like, "Yes." But all right. So what kind of initially led me to message you on Discord and kind of say, hey, what do you think about asking a question like this? Because I had some thoughts as I was playing this game. When I was younger, I had some, I moved around a lot and it was tough making friends because we moved right before I was going to start high school. And so my freshman year was not very fun. But then luckily we had some people that were around my age. There's two brothers. One was a year younger than me, and another one was 2 years younger than me. So they were both a year apart, and they moved down the street. And we both loved video games and everything, and so we became good friends. I used to spend a lot of my time there, and their mom was pretty much my second mother growing up, and we used to play Civilization quite a bit growing up. I'd go over there to sleep over, and his dad would get his laptop out, and we'd turn on like Civilization 2, I believe it was, or 3, one of those, and we'd play till like 3 or 4 in the morning. And we just do the local co-op one, so everyone would choose a place, and we just eventually the turns would get so long, but we just keep playing, and sometimes we'd just play the one game, other times we'd save it and go back to it another time, but I don't think we ever really finished the game, but it was just some fun memories as I was younger. And so a while ago, J Block, did the giveaway for Civilization 7, which is the new one that came out, and I was lucky enough to win it. So thank you, J Block, for that. I really appreciated it. And so I was in between games, kind of looking at what I wanted to do next. I wasn't really looking at doing Civilization 7 at the time, but I was like, you know what? He was kind enough to give it to me. I guess after I won it, but still, I was able to get it. I should check it out and see how I like it. I was a little nervous because when they first came out, there were some glitches on all the systems. But when I played it, I didn't notice quite that many issues. Um, it saves pretty frequently too, and so I didn't really have to go back very far in case of the game crashing a few times or other little things. So overall, the game was very playable, and it's not very difficult at all. If you are interested in those kind of games, you can easily get it done with. There's only 21 people right now that have finished it, but it's not that difficult once you kind of know what you're doing. But as just a basic rundown, I know Volger did a review for Civilization 6, I believe, a while ago. It is a pretty popular series. So uh, basically, Civilization, you can start anywhere. Like the newer games, you can start in different eras, um, but the classic game, you kind of start in the caveman type era, and you just kind of work your way up to the modern age. And there's different ways you can win. You can have like a war victory by just basically decimating all the rest of the players. There's different cultural stuff that you can attain. There's a space race way you can win. There's just different ways that you can win depending on however you want to play. And it's a very popular game on the PC. A lot of people just like playing, they'll have games that will take them months to finish with 5 or 6 CPs and playing on the hardest difficulty. And they just love doing that kind of stuff. Has a very big following. The reviews overall for this game have been pretty good. A lot of people seem to like 6 a little bit more right now, but I'm sure as they add new content and update stuff in the future, that the reviews will turn more kindly towards this. I did have fun with the game. There were a few nights that I had that were, oh, I need just one more turn, and then I'll be done. And then I'm looking at the clock and needing to go to work the next morning. I'm like, oh, shoot, it's past 1 o'clock. I need to get going. So I did have some fun with it, but that overall nostalgia I felt from when I was younger, playing similar games to this, like Age of Empires, Total Annihilation. What was some other ones? I did some of the Planet Zoo stuff as well, and other things, but I can't think of. There's another one too. There's another similar game to it. I can't think of right now, but I just didn't have the affinity for it. And maybe it is like you mentioned, that just not having the time or wanting to do some other stuff as well. Uh, Maybe dampens it a little bit for me. I still enjoyed the game overall, but just wasn't like that time where just when you're playing with your friends and just like, oh yeah, just this is the life, you know. But basically, civilization, yeah. So you start doing all that, and there's resources on the map. There's ways to build up your empire. You build towns. There's settlers. So you can increase your population, do all that stuff, and just work towards whatever you want to do. Now, I have not played six yet. It's been on my list. I should have played it when it was in Game Pass. I did not. I've been waiting to play it and just buy it, and I'm trying not to buy games until I'm ready to actually play them instead of just having them sit in my backlog. So I haven't bought it yet, but I don't think this was. I think this is a new thing for seven. Is they have achievements for basically doing a certain legacy path in the different eras, and you can choose this and customize it when you're setting up the map as ever however you want to. And if anybody wants any extra tips or at all, you can feel free to message me on Discord if you ever play this and you want some help on how to do things. I'm more than happy to help as best as I can. But so you'll have these different legacy paths that you'll go through. So you can, there's three different eras that they do. They have the let's go. They have the antiquity era, which is the basically like the caveman type era. They have the exploration era, which is kind of more of the uh, like the old English and Spanish 1700s type era like that. And then they have the modern era, which is kind of like now along with the future aspect of it. So there's different ways that you can win by going down these paths, or going down these paths will go to the next eras. For example, if you're doing these legacy paths in the antiquity era, once you fulfill them or the time is up in that era, then it'll move on to the exploration, and then from there it'll move on to the modern until it finishes the game. So you can choose to go down these paths, and they have specific things that you need to do in them to be able to get the achievement. For example, one of the ones have you have to find a bunch of artifacts. So you have to build a specific structure in your town, and then you can make some explorers to go out and find artifacts around the world and everything. You bring them back to the museum to display them, and then it'll count as one, and you have to get like 15 of them or something to get the achievement. So certain things, there's a path that you have to take, and it's clearly laid out on exactly what you need to do. The game does a good job of telling you, hey, you're in this aspect of it. Usually there's 5 or 6 points that you need to continue to progress down to be able to get to the last one to get the achievement, and it'll say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this X amount of times, whatever it is, to be able to do it. So I thought it was kind of an interesting way. It does kind of shoehorn you to play a certain way, but you can, when you're starting a game, you can start in this specific era that you need to, and then you can just go down the path that you want to go down to get the achievement. So it makes it relatively easy that you don't have to keep starting new games after new games. You can just basically go to whatever era you need, go through whatever path you need. If you want to do a military path, usually involves destroying towns or whatever, and you can set the CPU to basically easy and just kind of roll over them as you're going through that. So I had a lot of fun going through the different legacy paths because there's quite a lot of them. That's the majority of the achievements that you're going to do. The other majority is basically just winning the games as the different characters. That basically takes you. You have to beat them in the modern era, which is the last one. And you can just set the game up really easy to get a victory in like 20, 30 minutes. So you can get all of those characters, or your elite, maybe not characters, but leaders. You can get achievements for winning a game, basically, as all the different leaders. So between those two, that's pretty much all your achievements right there. I know in Civilization 6, we were having a discussion in the Discord the other day that number 6 had a lot of different fun achievements. And so I hope as they might add some DLC later that they will add some more fun achievements into this instead of just win as X leader or beat the different paths in this era and everything. But other than that, you just have to win a game on the hardest difficulty, which can be a little hard, but there are some guides out there on Steam or on, I don't know if there's one on TA yet, but there are some guides on Steam that will help you and everything to get that done as quickly as possible. But it was a fun game. I know this isn't everybody's genre, but for me, kind of growing up, it was fun to play and see it again. So I had a good time with it.
All right, I got lots of questions.
Perfect. Bring them on, man.
You know I do.
Yes, the Mets still stuck.
Damn it. No, they don't. They got 19 wins, damn it. They got 19 runs last night. and they're using all of their runs. Wait, we're not talking about that. What I want to know, of course, is do you need to play the first 6 Civilization games first to get the whole story?
How did I know
Obviously, I had
that?
to lead with. I had to lead with that.
Yes, you do. You will miss the story. Wait, there's a story in Civilization?
I don't know.
No, you do not need to play anything. It does a very good job of making it pretty easy to start off. Never being a fan of it, you can always just get it done.
And the only Civilization game I really know is Revolution on the 360. Is that one like an offshoot that doesn't have a number attached to it?
Yeah, that was a kind of a simplified version. It's been a while, so I might be mistaken, but it seemed like if I remember right, it was a very simplified version of Civilization, as they were kind of dabbling and doing it with a controller and on an Xbox and everything instead of being on a PC. It just seems like they kind of dumbed things down quite a bit for it, but it's a little different now with 6 and 7 being on the consoles as they are.
Um, did and then 6 is rated a 4.16 and 7 is rated a 3.39. Did they take a step down? Does it kind of suck? Well, what's going on there? What's up with that?
Yeah, it is kind of a little bit. Well, some of the complaints are that they're bare bones right now. They just released a new update, which kind of changed a few things in there that I think a lot of people will like. But unfortunately, it seemed like what they did from 6 to 7 is that they took things out to just possibly add it in later instead of just having it from the beginning. Um, that's kind of a major complaint I've seen on the. I joined the Discord for the Civilization series and everything just to see how people's reaction was and talk to them about it and everything. And that seems to be one of the consensus is that they just kind of took things out that they didn't need to instead of just keeping everything in from 6 and then maybe adding some extra things that they wanted to do from that time they finished 6 to 7. But like I said, I enjoyed it. I don't know if I rated it at all, but I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a good game. I really enjoyed my time with it.
All right, cool. And congratulations on that completion, by the way.
Thank you.
Only 21 people have it completed out of 2377.
Yeah,
So I imagine this one's a little too rich for people's bloods right now.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I was number
$70
14.
game.
Yes, $70 game, and there is a. Let me see. The version that JBlock gave out had the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X version, which they share a list, so there's no stacking it at
No
all.
stack. Yeah.
But I think there's even a pricier version. I'm not seeing it on TA, but I'm pretty sure there's a more pricey version that will include any possible DLC future in there. So, but it's a 40 to 50 hour completion is what I had 45 hours in it. I don't think I mentioned. So I would say 40 to 50 hours, maybe a titch longer if you're newer to this kind of series. But like I said, most of the achievements are not that hard to do. You can do mostly everything on the easiest difficulty and manipulate things to do how you want them to do. So if you are looking for some good TAD or something like that, you can easily get a lot. You could pop a lot of these quickly. Like you could get to the very end where you're like one turn away from getting an achievement for like, winning a game as a certain leader and then just save it. And then, when you're done or you need that, all that TAD or something like that, you could just end up going in there, loading the game, winning the game, going to the next one, getting quite a bit in an hour or so.
All right. Anything else you wanted to add?
Nope, that's about it. What do you got
Okay,
for
cool.
us? What do you got for us this week?
All right. Well, thanks for talking about Sid Meier's Civilization 7 as it's known on TA. And if you're Koosh, you might not be able to find it because he's not good with Roman numerals. If you don't know the lore, that's the lore.
There you go.
So, changing gears completely, I'm going to be talking about an Eastasiasoft game called Go Go Jump! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! And this game is a platformer, as you might be able to tell by the name Go Go Jump. Now, it's weird because the game has a simplistic title, and you would think it's like a mistranslated title, but it's not. It's a very American game, and it's wild. All you do in the game is jump, but this game, what it makes up for, or what it lacks in diversity, it makes up for in its personality. So you play as the doggy, and kind of like Mega Man, you go through 8 stages, and you could pick any order. The order doesn't matter. And then at the end, you're going to fight the boss. So first thing you do is you pick story mode. There's 8 different masters to choose, and you'll get a full-blown cutscene with voice acting, with great animation, and you wander into the master's trial, and there's all different music for each stage and all different background for each stage. And all you got to do is just avoid things and jump. So, for example, there's a stage with a pool and dolphins jump out of it. You get out of the way of the dolphins, and then you might jump over something. And then there's a stage with a gun, and you jump over the gun bullets, and it's a lot of jumping. And that's unfortunately what all the game has to offer. But they know this, so they make it fun with other things. So the main thing the game does is it breaks the fourth wall. So all the characters talk to you. They know they're in a video game. They'll talk about how, like how did you get out of the way? And it's like, well, my character didn't have the animation to jump and stuff like that. So like fun
that's
stuff
fun.
like that. Yeah. And then there's like this mafia rat. And once you beat the stage with the mafia, there's an achievement to chill on the beach with the green rat and see what he has to say. And you listen to the green rat's entire rant. And it's 5 whole minutes of him just like breaking character, laughing, re-recording dialogue for the game, because I think it was a Steam version first, and they did the dialogue. And it's very clean. It's very fun. So each stage has 3 different sections, and it never changes. So if you can memorize it. So like this one's coming from the right, and then this one's coming from the left. So you can memorize it, but there's also tells, and you could see like a character blinks or something in the background moves, and you'll know when you're supposed to jump. So once you do your 10 or 15 jumps, then you get a checkpoint, and then you do another 10 or 15 jumps, and then another checkpoint, and then you finish the stage after the 3rd set. And there's an achievement for each of the individual stages. And then after you're done with the campaign, there is boss rush mode. Now, boss rush mode sucks because it's hard as hell. You get 9 lives, and you have to beat every single boss from beginning to end with 9 lives, and it's not in the same pattern, it's randomized. So, fortunately, there is a cheat code.
Oh, nice.
And there's an invincibility cheat code. Now, I went through the regular game without the cheat code, and I played for real. I suppose you could do it right off the bat and remove any type of fun or gameplay that you would have in this game and just stand still. I don't think that's very fun, even for an achievement hunter. I did it just fine. I died a few times, but then you get it done and you feel accomplished. But the boss rush mode, I tried and I died on the first boss. So like, I'm not going to be able to do this. So I did use it for the boss rush mode, not going to lie, but only that stage. With that said, you can beat this game in an hour to an hour and a half. And there's only like 200 people on TA with this game. However, it is on sale right now. I think it's $5.99 instead of $10. I think that's a very fair price. And I think you'll have a good time if you like platformers of old. I think this is an Elroy would love this game. I think. I don't even think you would skip the cutscenes. They're full of personality. Who am I kidding? You'd skip them, but you shouldn't.
No
Then you're missing all the
cutscenes,
fun.
and it's not a beat 'em up. I don't know if that's his forte.
He likes games that remind him of old things, and he's like, jumping. That'll be like that Mario guy. Oh, that 3D Mario game, Super Mario World? No, Elroy. That was Mario 64. Anyway, we love you, Elroy. I guess I may as well add there's also challenge modes that you unlock after you beat the story, but there are no achievements attached to it, unfortunately. So challenge modes are you go in and they'll be specific to each stage challenges. So like uh, survive 30 bullets in a row from this gun, and then they'll keep shooting 30 bullets at you. So it'll be something like that.
Interesting.
And I did a few of them just to do them. They're fun. There was like 90 or 100 of them. There's a lot.
Oh
But
wow.
there's no achievements involved, so no one's going to do them. So that said, it's a fun game. It's an easy completion, and that's what Eastasiasoft seems to do well. So
Now,
I would grab it
what
on
do
sale for
you?
$6, but not for 10, really. Yeah,
How do you explain why it's? I know you. I think you might have alluded to it, but why do you think there's not that many people that have played it? Well, it's only got 217 starters.
I think the $10 price tag is too much. That's the only thing I could think of, because games that are usually an hour or so are usually 5. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's fair now at $5.99. And also maybe just the days of people getting the easy achievement games are less, unless they're worth 5,000 gamer score. And I don't think this is going to get an update, but you never know, because the Eastasiasoft games have been getting updates. Some of them. I don't think so.
It's just you kind of see the similar names on there of the people that are at the top of the gamer score leaderboard, but not much after that. So it's kind of interesting.
Our buddy Redemption Denied played it, of course.
Oh, of course,
You know that guy.
I do, by reputation at least.
Oh yeah, he's got a reputation for just being diving games and never completing them. That's his reputation. I'm trying to see what gamer score he's up to at this point in his life. 5.8 million. Okay,
There you
that's
go.
all. It's been a while since I've checked on that. Redemption Denied, 4,230 completions. 9 million TAD, 93% completion. Good boy. All right, so that was Go Go Jump. And I'm in the middle of another Eastasiasoft game I think I'm going to hold off on and talk about it with you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because I didn't complete it yet. I think it's best if I complete it first before talking to you about it. So is there any other things you wanted to talk about? Tell me what you bought in the spring sale.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be plenty of stuff on my feed for you to see what I bought in the spring
Oh
sale here soon.
no. Stop
People are going to
it.
start hating me pretty soon.
I
No,
hate you already.
I know. I know.
Because of the stupid Dodgers. Oh.
No, I mean, I just wanted to do a quick run through of the Game Pass games. So we had Grand
Oh
Theft
yeah,
Auto
yeah.
5 and Hunt Showdown 1896 were both out on April 15th. Neon White and SpongeBob SquarePants, the Patrick Star game, are both out on April 16th. I know you're going to play SpongeBob right away. That's definitely your gig.
Wait,
April 17th, we had Tempopo and
wait.
Crime Scene Cleaner. Yep.
Those came out already?
Yeah. Are you shocked by that or something? Or
Yeah. You didn't tell me. You said you were
well,
going to come over and play those games with me.
if you would have listened to the podcast last week, or last time that I
I
recorded, you would have
did.
known.
I did. And Elroy was talking about crime scene investigator. No,
Yep.
the
He was
graffiti
talking
game.
about graffiti.
That's
Yeah.
yes.
No, but April 17th, I mean, I think we kind of got a new Power Wash Simulator type game because everyone seems to be talking about Crime Scene Cleaner. I hear it's a really good game. Have you dabbled in
Yeah.
it yet?
No. I'm still on Power Wash.
On the first level of Power Wash?
Now. Second.
So I
Oh, I
might.
did the DLC with people. The DLCs you can do with people. I wish the campaign was more than 2 people, but you can do a free mode and get the achievements with all the DLCs as long as the person you're playing with has the levels unlocked.
Hmm.
There's a nice little hint for you in Power Wash.
Yeah,
What
I
else is
mean,
coming out?
there's quite a few people on my list have already played and completed Crime Scene Cleaner, so it doesn't look like it's about a 15-ish hour game. So I might have to check that one out here soon. We got the big one, which seems to be getting some rave reviews. On April 24th, we had Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Seems like the general consensus is that people like it.
Yes.
So I'm excited to try that here in the near future. We had today, April 29th, as we were recording, Towerborn on Game Preview was released. Coming tomorrow, we have Far Cry 4, which I just read today. They are giving you a 60 FPS update for that, so you can look forward to that if you are starting it. Far Cry 4 is not that bad. It's pretty much a rehash of 3, just in the mountains. So if you liked 3, you're sure you'll like 4. Here in a few days, on May 1st, I'm excited because we're getting Anno 1800. So I'm looking forward to that. And we also get Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which I believe is the newer of the Modern Warfare 2s. Because you have to make a distinction, because I can't name it something else. And then also on May 6th, we're getting Dredge. So I'm excited for Anno and Dredge.
And Rocker said Dredge is going to be good. I don't know if I trust him. I was looking at this Crime Scene Cleaner game, and it looks like there's one achievement that doesn't unlock on PC if you're playing. That's weird.
Yeah, so Crime Scene Cleaner got an update because it did have a achievement that was glitched about a toaster in the bathroom and everything,
Yes.
but it did get patched. People are unlocking it, but yeah, I think uh, on the PC they're still having some issues with it.
Okay.
So
You could always do it on the PC and then load up the level, I think it says.
there you go. So yeah, that's what's coming to
Yeah.
Game Pass for the next in the next few weeks. I'm sure here soon we'll get leaving Game Pass by the next time we record next on for what's leaving in May and everything. But that's what we kind of have now. I know one of the ones that is possibly leaving in May that Bloomy has talked about is Little Kitty Big City. So I kind of finished that one just to not have to rush it towards the end. Plus, it was good for collectibles for the TA targets. But
Yeah, and just a PSA for all the listeners: don't take a toaster from the kitchen and put it in your bathtub in real life. It's not a good idea.
no.
It's not worth getting an achievement. Promise. Oh man, I missed you, buddy. This is fun.
Yeah.
All right, did we catch anything? Every SquareSoft game in existence is on sale.
I was going to mention I thought the spring sale would be on a little bit longer, but it actually expires tomorrow. So by the time this releases, it'll already be
Oh
done.
shit!
So, oh man, I got to bleep
Well,
out
they're
2
always on
words now.
sale.
You're making me
Don't
work.
bleep them out. No one listens to this show anyway.
You're making me work, earn my editor's stuff this week.
Nah, don't bleep it out. Only adults listen to this show,
Yeah.
like Mike Pitch and Fug
He's only an
and
adult now because
90-year-old
he has
Poosh.
kids.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Pitcher really. I'm really surprised you didn't name the baby Taco or Gong or Bong or whatever it is.
Bong. That's torture.
Verde,
That's
Diablo.
torturing the kid right there.
That's what people do now. I'd spell it Nicole, but NYC. Yeah. Ugh. All right, well, get those SquareSoft games if you can. The Pixel Remaster Collection is like 30% off. That's pretty great.
Oh, nice.
I added Final Fantasy II to my game collection, so hopefully that shows up on RTDL for May. And when I play that one next. No more boyfriend dungeoning. Hopefully. Soon.
Soon you're going to be all boyfriend out.
I know. I've had every kind of boyfriend you can have in the span of a few days.
Then you'll have to turn your attention back to your wife.
No, thank you. No, thank you. All right, buddy. I'll see you again in a couple of weeks. And class is dismissed. See ya.
See ya. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, El Koosh does suck. I don't know how I didn't see it before.
Yeah, he wastes a lot of money on games he's never going to play, and he keeps opening these things called tabs. I think he's talking about like a soda from when he was younger. Does that sound right to you?
That does sound right. I'm sure, with him being born in the 50s, Tab was very popular with his old age.
Yeah, he told me it was swell. Like I don't know what he was talking about. Like the can was big or something. Like I really don't know what he's talking about.
Wait, does he even call it soda or did he call it pop?
I don't know. I heard his teeth popping and his hip popping as he was talking to me.
I remember when I used to go get pop for 25 cents at the gas station.
Back in my day, when I went to Ocean City, Maryland, this lake I went in was just a puddle.
Now it's a great big ocean.
Uh, um, yeah, put that as the outro. That's funny. Fun stuff.
Oh, that's going to be the intro.
Hello, everyone. Can I have outtakes this week?
Perfect. It's been a while. All right. All right. I'll shut up.
I start now.